I'm Nick for Carpidity, and from all the comments you guys didn't leave, I just assume you're tired of Ross droning on about car reviews and such, so this week I'm going to kick him behind the camera, and I'll give you a ride in this 97 Corvette right here. So here we are in a 1997 Corvette. My first impressions makes me feel like $1 million bucks. If I drive this to work or just drive around town for the heck of it because it's a beautiful day, I feel like I made a great purchase. And in 1997, there were several brand new things, very first things the Corvette ever got. And that was where the transmission was relocated to the rear, the transaxle, which freed up lots of leg room, and it also allowed for a near 50-50 weight distribution for near neutral handling. Also for a first for the Corvette was the LS1 engine, and in this particular year it came with 345 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque. And we all know the LS1 was one of the, if not the best particular engine designs ever created, which led to other great engines like the LS7, LS6, LS2, LS3. You get where I'm going with this. Now, as for the transmission, what I can say about it is extremely reliable, smooth shifting. It's GM's venerable 4L60E automatic transmission. You know what? We'll just leave it at that. Just don't hammer me in the comments for owning an automatic. I got a good deal on it. So you guys might be wondering about the ride in this Corvette, or just assume since it is a Corvette, it is a horrible ride and you're suffering and your back's aching all the time. That's not true. I'm going to say this thing's kind of luxury car-esque. It sponges up the bumps real well on the road, but you're quickly reminded that it is a Corvette because there's a large amount of road noise that comes from this car. But what this car does really well, and what every Corvette has ever done, was corner nicely. So much freaking grip around this thing. It's long, it's low, it's wide. This car handles like a madman, but the steering lets me down. It's vague, it's numb, and there's quite a bit of body movement, to be honest. But once you get used to it and put your foot down, this car handles. And as for the interior, I will say it is a nice place to be. It's not the nicest. You can tell this thing definitely suffers from mid-1990s GM parts bin to an extent. But there are some great things about it. Like these little soft touch buttons. It may sound silly, but these things just are awesome. They feel nicer than any new hard button that these new cars come out with. They last forever. There's not a single wear mark on them. The gauges, man, every time I look at those gauges, I feel like I'm in a new car. They just look great. They're timeless. There's no denying it. That in another 20 years, I feel like these gauges, everybody will still like them. The dash, I like the layout of the dash. It looks good, but GM kind of stops short of, well, the vents. The dash looks great, but when they put the dash in, it's like the designers were like, yeah, what about the vents? And they just kind of threw them in there. And yeah, little gap there, big gaps. And then for the stereo, everybody's 1997 Silverado stereo, it doesn't match the car. That's crap. This thing right here, man, this works. It's got sat nav, for God's sakes. I mean, the thing, it works like a new modern iPhone. Now, I do have the dual climate control in here. Not all of these cars had that. I do like that. It looks modern, still looks current. The buttons have a great feel. Problem is, most of them suffer from the little dash gauge there that tells you what's going on in the system that stops working, or they're very dim. It's an easy fix, but they all suffer from that. Now, also, the seats. I really love these seats. I've heard complaints about them. I think they're wrong. The bolstering's great, very good for comfort. I mean, just daily driving these things, they hug my butt. They make my butt feel good, make my butt feel loved. And for visibility, that's a crapshoot. I mean, every time I back up, this thing, it's like rolling dice. I almost drove into a ditch back there, turned around to film this. And the visibility out the front, great. Actually, lots of visibility. I feel like these A-pillars, they're not a problem. I haven't had an issue with pulling out in front of somebody. So, no, the visibility from the front is great. The back, that's where the problem lies. You know what I think's BS? That especially for this generation of Corvette, that a lot of people just seem to think that old, wealthy people driving 5, 10 miles an hour own this car. Well, that's not true. Well, I'm not old. Really, not that old. And I'm extremely poor. No, I'm not wealthy at all. This car, though, I paid just under $13,400 for. And compared to, say, a Subaru WRX that costs like 40 grand, you know, this is bang for your buck money right here, man. Smooth ride, handling, great car for the money.
The C5 Corvette was produced from 1997 to 2004 and was named the Motor Trend Car of the Year in 1998. It had unequal length dual wishbone suspension, transverse composite monoliefs, and even some models were available with magnetorheological shocks. All of this was connected to a hydroformed steel alloy frame with a new third member that encompassed a torque tube which connected the engine to the rear-mounted transmission. It introduced the reinvented Chevrolet small block known as the LS1 with all new port designs, cam journals, crankshafts. It was even changed to a Y block to make room for 6-bolt main caps. It featured individual cylinder spark timing, reverse cooling, and composite intake. Whether you like Corvettes or not, the C5 was a landmark car that changed the expectations of all sports cars that came after it.